Okay, Battletech enthusiasts, in this podcast, we are going to take a look at, and I'm going to ask the question, how do we build a gunline list? And this is an incoming question from someone that has been playing 40K, question from the blog, playing 40K, my mission was successful, getting into Battletech, and now translating some of that 40K tech, some of the 40K tactics and armies they like to play into the Battletech universe. So we're going to look for some of that crossover here, give the Battletech players some new ideas, and ask some questions. How do we do this? And this is kind of what I was thinking. I'm going to try it out. We've got enough mechs to make it happen. I'm going to put it out there onto the blog for the comments, and we'll see. So in Warhammer 40,000, this is a sci-fi game. Lots of examples of it on YouTube, lots of blogs. There might even be some crossover here for those of you who play Battletech. You've heard of 40K. You might even play 40K. Certainly, I enjoy the game, and it's a 1/3 or 1/4 focus on my blog. The four I would say would be Battletech, Dungeons & Dragons, Chain of Command, Battletech, Dungeons & Dragons, 40K, X-Wing miniatures, with diversions into Chain of Command, Wings of Glory, and other Judge Dredd miniatures, and other great games that I enjoy. And already I'm like, got to play some more Dredd. Got to play some more Wings of Glory. There's just not enough time in the day to play all these amazing games. But in Warhammer 40,000, a gunline army is where you spend all your points, your battle value for a comparison. You spend all your points in long-range, high-volume, very powerful shooting. Essentially, you line up on the table, and your opponent deploys their army out, and just every turn you blast them off the table. There might be a little bit of an alpha strike concept in there where you're going to do a lot of damage turn one. We are trying to do maximum damage through volume of dice and manipulation of dice, getting rerolls and everything on there. But essentially, it's just I line up, I roll some dice, I shoot. This works in Warhammer 40,000 because it's a D6 based system. So right away, being D6 based, you can exploit that. There's only a 1 in 6 chance, and you got to hit, you got to wound, you got to cause damage. The scale of the game has grown tremendously. The gaming table is still the same size. There's a lot of units, there's a lot of stuff on there, and when you focus on one area like shooting, it's very, very powerful. Just as a background to lay this foundation so we can figure out, can we transfer this to Battletech? The other challenge in 40K is that it is a you go, I go system. There is no initiative order. There is no simultaneous action. There is no other similar elements like in Battletech. So if I line my army up and I'm going first, I'm going to shoot at you. You can't do anything but sit there and take it and lose those models. You're not getting your shots back. You're just hanging out. Then it's your turn. So a shooty army that can reach out quick across the table means every turn you are getting significantly weaker and weaker and weaker because you're losing model mass. So the gun line, a shooting list, is very, very powerful. So in Battletech, my first thought was I play a long-range missile type list where I take multiple archers, multiple longbows, multiple missile carriers on there, a couple of other mechs that might have LRM 10, 15 capacity. And I have scout mechs, locusts, that go out and try to spot you for the indirect fire. I have some infantry and tanks and other heavy mechs like the Orion or the Warhammer or the Battlemaster, depending on the points, that are there to block, right? So when you come in to try and take out my long-range assets, I can put these other mechs forward and essentially just pound you with hundreds and hundreds of missiles every single turn. Is that a gunline list? I would say no, it's not. Because while I put out a lot of missiles, they don't all hit. And range, certainly the range is there. Long-range missile is, well, long range. But the dynamic nature of Battletech and the terrain that you play on Battletech, there's more terrain in Battletech than Warhammer 40,000. And whether that's just traditional hex map or looking at a wargaming table, we're not even talking about getting into crazy, dense urban city fight type stuff. What this means is there's lots and lots and lots of places to hide and to shoot back. So a pure gun line, even if you could do such a thing, and a lot of mechs that are long range, they have other elements. I feel like you can't put out enough dice to do a true gun line. Now, obviously, if you play on a table where there's nothing there, and you've got all long-range missiles and, AC-2s and 5s, and your opponent's just going to walk right in, well, maybe it would work. But I would be hesitant in trying to develop a crossover 40K gunline list into there. But if I was, I think a gunline list in Battletech revolves around medium lasers. Medium lasers have that range, they have that hitting power, and I'd like to hit you with the Grasshopper actually comes to mind as a great example. I'd like to hit you with multiple medium lasers, or mechs with one large laser, 2 or 3 medium lasers on there. Because what that means is the damage, I have enough dice going at you where, look, first I have to hit, then it has to hopefully be in an area that you have taken damage, where I start to kind of wear away. And then you want a good volume of shots, because as the mech gets destroyed and goes into internals, if I damage that left torso and its internals, I don't want one medium laser or one shot a turn, or PPCs are nice, right? But I want multiples on there, because that means there are multiple chances to at least score a hit if we're facing front to front on there. So I feel like a gunline list in 40K has the range, and it has lots and lots and lots of powerful shots. I feel like the replication of that in Battletech is more like lots and lots of medium laser type shots. You might have a few shots that are higher up, long-range missiles, large lasers, slightly autocannon, slightly better range. And, of course, you'll have a couple of mechs that are a little bit lower. Side question for a moment. When is the last time you fired a small laser in Battletech? The other day I was playing with Dave, and his mechs were just rocking me. And I've got this Wolverine up there that was I think it was the Wolverine. Has no arms, no left torso, barely a right torso, like one bubble in the leg, just somehow still standing up. I think an engine hit, just a disaster. Like the only thing that wasn't hit, its head. And it had a small laser in there. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to shoot the small laser because that's all I have in the head. And I'm like, how much damage does a small laser even do? I had to go look it up. So when is the last time you fired a small laser? That has nothing to do with this gunline list, but I as we talk about it, I'm seeing battles. I'm seeing flashbacks of various Battletech games, inserting myself and asking, well, what if we did this? What if we played with these mechs? What if we tried to do a medium laser gunline list? How would that have worked? And I'm getting this flashback to having actually remembered firing a small laser on there. I think medium lasers, lots and lots of medium lasers, that's also going to give you the mobility, because you're going to have to run up there. A lot of density, a lot of terrain in Battletech. Fewer units in Battletech. It's much easier. What's an average Battletech game? 3,000 to 5,000 battle value. Even if you do a mix of mechs and vehicles, so you're trying to get good density of a lot of units for activation and initiative and options, but you're not going horde. You're not going elite where you take 3 assault mechs. There's still not a lot of stuff on the table in a lot of Battletech games compared to other war games out there. So I feel like if you had a list lined up, there's not going to be as many targets. They're going to be able to hide. They're going to be able to isolate you, move out, shoot, move back in. You need to hunt them down. Maybe you should call it a hunter-killer list, right? You need to get up there, lots of medium lasers, start shooting out. I think that would be more of a gunline list, but it's not a long-range type list.